Hi everyone, it's me Gemma, and today we are going to be doing the end of year book tag. This is the fourth time I've tried to film this video. I connected my camera up with one of these little Bluetooth remote controls. I thought I was being really clever, but unfortunately what it made it do was my camera to stop filming after about 2 minutes every single time. Very annoying, but I've disconnected it now. Hope that that is fixed. So, end of year book tag originates from Ariel Bissett. I will link her channel below. And for anyone else who is panicking about it being the end of the year book tag time, I completely 100% feel you. I started panicking roughly around the time that 31st of November became, 31st of October became 1st of November, and Mariah Carey woke from her sleep. Michael Bublé was put on defrost, and the shops put out their Christmas decorations. That is about the time I roughly started panicking. I prefer to try and keep my Christmas preparations from 1st of December onwards, but I have already started buying Christmas presents because I am just like that. So I wanted to do this end of year book tag just to sort of get an idea of where I am, what I've been doing. I pretty much really ramped up my reading again in March of this year, and I think I've gotten an awful lot done since then. Question number 1 is, are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? And for me, that would be Istanbul by Bethany Hughes. This is a massive chunker of a non-fiction. It's roughly 602 pages. So it's not the longest book I'll read this year, but certainly it is very, very dense. It covers Istanbul from its earliest sort of incarnation as a Greek port town to being Byzantium, to being Constantinople, and now in its modern day iteration as Istanbul. Very interesting, very, as I say, packed book. I'm about just under halfway. I started it in, I think, the beginning of September, and then put it down when I went on holiday because I didn't want to take this book with me because I was taking it by Stephen King with me, which is just as big, and didn't want to carry such two really big chunkers with me. So I would recommend this from what I've read so far. It is a really well researched book, very dense. We're not very far, I mean barely into the sort of Christian period, and we're not even halfway through. I really like Bethany Hughes. I like her style. I like her sort of, she's very accessible, and she, if you get a chance to watch her, has some really good documentaries. I believe one on Channel 4 and there's one on Channel 5. Very, very well, as I said, researched. Just recommend it. So I will definitely be finishing this before the end of the year. I might try and finish it for No Fiction November. We'll see what happens. Next question is, do you have an autumnal book to transition you to the end of the year? Yes, I do. Mine is Trick or Treat, A History of Halloween by Lisa Morton. Again, I will probably read this for Non-Fiction November. It was recommended by Shannon Strucci in a video that she did about haunted houses, which is really good. Again, I'll link that below. So Lisa Morton takes the sort of origins of the things that we do at Halloween, from the sort of Celtic Samhain, Catholic All Souls Day, and related but independent holidays like Dia de los Muertos, things like that, and how they influence the modern day Halloween. So I'm really looking forward to reading this. I really like books like this. I'm looking for a similar one on Christmas if anyone knows a good one. And it's just got a really nice spooky cover, so I will let you know how this one is, but I'm sure it's going to be really good. Now, this is a really good question. Is there a new release that you have been waiting for? Now, if you'd asked me that this time last month, I would have said no, because all my sort of new releases that I was really looking forward to had already come out, and I was kind of like, okay, so I've got my reading list, it's all good. And then I read Skyward by Brandon Sanderson, really loved it, and was like, okay, when's the next one? And the next one comes out at the end of November. So that is sort of my last really anticipated read of the year. There are already things I'm anticipating for 2020. I might actually do a video about my 2020 anticipated releases upcoming. So we'll see whether or not I can be bothered doing that, but who knows. CC Problems of a Book Nerd normally does a good anticipated queer releases list that I normally watch, and I will definitely be watching that one again for next year. But as of now, I've only got one anticipated release for the rest of the year. So this was a difficult one. What 3 books do you want to read before the end of the year? Now, I went for these 3. I went for Siege and Storm by Leigh Bardugo, The Heart Forger by Rin Chupeco, and The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. The reasons behind that is I have read the first book in the Grishaverse trilogy. I haven't read any more, but it's one of the most well-beloved series on BookTube. The Netflix series is coming out. I really just kind of want to get them read before the Netflix series comes out so that I can and also so that I can move along more within the series. I read Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo very recently and really liked it, so it's kind of given me a bit of a push forward to finish with the Grishaverse books. So this is one that I will be reading. In fact, you know what? I'm going to start this one today. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read this one, and then I'm going to read the other one. Maybe. But I will read this one today. That's what I'm going to do. Now, the other one out of the 3 is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. 2 people I really like, Maddie at The Book Pusher and Sam at Thoughts on Tomes. Really love this book, and I have pretty similar taste to both of them. So I'm going to give it a go. I'm getting an Illumicrate box this month, which has a copy of The Starless Sea in it. So I will be reading The Starless Sea, and I wanted to give this a read first. So as far as I know, it's a bit magical realism. It's a competition between 2 magicians, and it just looks and sounds really like something that I would like. So we're going to give it a go. And the last one is The Heart Forger by Rin Chupeco. Look at this cover. It is really very gorgeous. The tagline is "The dead do not rest." I read The Bone Witch earlier on last month and really loved it. Unexpectedly really loved it. So I've picked up this one and The Shadow Glass, which is the finale. I'm hoping to get both of them read before the end of 2019, but this one is obviously next on the list. I also have The Girl in the Well by Rin Chupeco on my Kindle, so I'll probably be reading that as well. I've discovered that I really like her writing. So, and last of all, is there a book that you think could still shock you and become your favourite of the year? Now, for this one, I did think really hard because I have got quite a large sort of vague TBR, which I'm going to do in another video. The next video I do is going to be my sort of things I would kind of like to get read before the end of the year. And I thought a lot about it, and I decided to go for The Queens of Innis Lear by Tessa Gratton. Now, the reason for that is I like King Lear, I like Shakespeare, and this is a sort of retelling, a fancy retelling of King Lear with the 3 daughters. So as far as I know, it is about 3 daughters sort of competing to become their father's heir after he dies, and it's got a really good blurb from SFX. A few people that I have reading taste in common with have really liked it, so I'm going to give this a go. I think this could shock me and become a favourite of the year. And the last question is, have you started making reading plans for 2020? No. I'm simply not that organised. I am not one of these people who already has their bullet journal spread half drawn about what they're going to read. I keep a happy planner, but that's mainly to make sure that I like keep appointments and I am where I'm supposed to be at any given time. I would like to raise my Goodreads goal for next year. At the moment, I had it at 100. This year I had it at 100. I've so far read 129 books this year, so I might raise it to 200 because I'm going to have that extra 3 months, and also I'll be working towards it. So that is the only vague-ish plan that I've made for 2020. I think what I would like to do is to reduce my TBR shelf and sort of be reading more books as they're coming in. A sort of 2 out 1 in sort of system. And I would also probably like to read more books on my Kindle to save on physical space. That is the only things that I have really thought about yet for 2020. So yeah, I'll probably watch loads of other people's videos, planning videos, to get some ideas of what people are sort of coming up with, and then I might have some more ideas. But anyway, that was the end of the year book tag. Thanks to Ariel for coming up with it. I'm sure there will be lots of other good tag videos for the end of your book tag, and I will enjoy watching any of them. If you want to link yours below in the comments, then that would be awesome. I will speak to you soon. Take care. Bye bye.